welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Hannah and I'm very excited because today we are doing another apartment hunting video. Ross and I were apartment hunting back in March because we were looking to break our lease early so that we could take advantage of the really low rent prices because of the pandemic. But something fell through with that, we didn't get to move, but now it is June, and as promised, we are apartment hunting again. I also just wanted to mention that first apartment hunting video just recently surpassed 10,000 views. It is my most viewed video, and I really appreciate all of you who made that happen. If you haven't seen that video yet, there will be a card to it here, and it'll be linked in the description. And I also really hope you subscribe because I had to break this apartment hunting sesh into 2 different videos. So there will be another one of these coming next Saturday. This time around, apartment hunting has been a little more difficult and a little more stressful considering that literally at the end of this month, I'm filming this on June 10th, at the end of this month, my lease is going to end. So we absolutely had to find a place. And also the prices have gone back up a lot. So it has been tougher to find something that we like. So let's just jump right into it. The first 2 buildings I'm going to show you were in Long Island City, Queens. And if you watched my last video, you heard me say, when we start searching again, we're going to continue to look both in downtown Brooklyn and Brooklyn Heights and just around this general area. We plan to look at some in downtown Manhattan and also maybe Williamsburg, Brooklyn. So you might be like, Hannah, why were you looking in Queens? I'll tell you why we were looking in Queens. We were looking in Queens because I just saw these buildings, these big, beautiful buildings for very reasonable prices showing up all over my Street Easy homepage, and we just had to take a look for ourselves. The first building we went to was called ARC-LIC in Long Island City, and we saw 2 units in this building. Both of the units were very much the same, so I'll just kind of pick and choose pieces to put in here, but they both fell with a gross rent between $3,200 and $3,300 and a net rent between $2,400 and $2,500 with 3 months free on a 12-month lease. For the most part, we really liked this building. We liked the units. They were nice and spacious. They had a really cool industrial-like quality that you don't see in a lot of luxury buildings like this. So it had a lot of character. My favorite part were the large windows, and the bathrooms had beautiful gold finishes that were just really, really pretty. The only difference between the 2 units they showed us was that one was on a higher floor and it had a better view. And I believe that it was actually a little bit cheaper than the lower unit, and I'm really not sure why because it was nicer. The units had dishwashers but no laundry, but there were laundry machines in the building. The building also had some really beautiful amenities. There was a beautiful rooftop with views of Midtown Manhattan. It had grills and a lot of pretty plants and landscaping. And the best part, a saltwater pool on the roof of the building. Crazy. It also had a gym and a garden area outside and several like conference rooms where you could work from home or whatever. And the coolest part was they had this game room that had a basketball court and a golf batting thing. Help.
Golf simulator?
A golf simulator. And all of these really cool arcade games from back in the day. It had skee ball. Like, I want to play skee ball in my house. As nice as this building was, right after we saw it, we just knew we were never going to be seriously considering it because it was just too expensive. So a lot of the time when you look at these larger buildings on Street Easy, units will show up, but they're not actually the units they have available. So these units were showing up in our price range, but they didn't really have those available anymore, I guess, and the only one bedrooms close to our price range were between $2,400 and $2,500, and we wanted to keep it under $2,300, but with an absolute maximum of $2,400, and that probably would have been only for something that we really liked in our general area that we live in right now in Brooklyn, because we did kind of want to stay, but we were open to moving. So considering the location and the price, it just wasn't going to work. They also had a ridiculous amount of amenity fees. The gym was like $60 a month, but there was a Planet Fitness down the street where I could have gone for like $10 a month. So I don't know why you would pay that. And there was a $250 fee per season to use the rooftop pool. So it just really seemed a little skeevy and we weren't into it. The next building that we saw in Long Island City was called QLIC. Ross keeps calling it Q-Lick. But we really liked this one. This one was very nice, didn't have the shady amenity fees. I don't know if having amenity fees is actually shady, but it felt that way to me. I feel like if you're paying that much money to live in a building, you should probably just get to use the amenities, but that's a different video. Anyway, in QLIC, we saw 3 different units. We saw one on the 3rd floor that was one floor plan, and it was 3 months free on a 12-month lease, gross rent of $3,076 with a net rent of $2,197. It was a really nice size. It had a really nice open concept kitchen with an island. I really love the islands, so that was really pretty. And again, nice big windows, not quite as big as the last building, but they had a really cool view of the train. Love. Ooh, it's mirror. Yeah, it is. Ooh, deep tub. Love that. There's a lot of storage under this thing. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I like the floors. Yeah, the floors are wide. The next unit we saw was on the 8th floor, and it was a little bit smaller. The gross rent was $29.96, and the net rent was $21.40. It wasn't bad at all. I liked the other floor plan better though. This one didn't have the island kitchen. It had like a longer open concept one, kind of against the wall. And the windows just faced the interior of the building, so you didn't have a cool view at all. It did have nice closet space in the bedroom, but in comparison to the other unit and the price difference not really being that much, it was never really a consideration. The agent then took us to see one more unit that was the same floor plan as the one on the 3rd floor, but it was on the 10th floor. So this place kind of blew me away. It was $31.56 gross rent, $22.54 net rent, and you could see the Empire State Building out the window. You could see Midtown Manhattan out the window. It was beautiful, and it still had that cool train view like in the lower one. You could just see more. So this unit really kind of won us over. It was stunning. Same finishes and everything as the last ones, but the view got us. All of these units had laundry and dishwasher in the unit, and the building had really great amenities with no fees. There was a gym, there were a couple of lounge, work from home type areas. And this one also had a beautiful rooftop that, in my opinion, was even more beautiful than the last one. Had grills and a pool on the roof. So we decided after visiting these apartments and walking around the area that we just didn't like Long Island City very much. And listen, I know that a lot of people really love Long Island City. I've heard some great things about it, which is why we decided to go visit. If you love Long Island City and you really want to live in Long Island City, that's awesome, and I'm so happy for you. It just wasn't for us. And if you do love Long Island City, I would recommend checking out QLIC because it was a great building. It really hurt us that we just couldn't justify moving to Long Island City because we love where we are in Brooklyn so much, and we just didn't like that. It just felt kind of sterile. It didn't have a lot of charm. It felt to us just kind of like it could have been in any major city. It just didn't have that classic New York vibe that we wanted, and that's okay. Gantry Park was beautiful though. If you haven't been to Gantry Park, go check that out. The last unit that I'm going to show you in this part of the apartment hunting saga was located in Manhattan in the financial district. This unit didn't have any of the whole gross rent, net rent situation. It was just $22.95 a month flat. This unit wasn't like the ones in Long Island City, not in a big fancy luxury building. This was a very small building. It was 4 floors with 1 unit per floor. So there are only 4 apartments in this whole building. The apartment itself was really cool. It had some really unique features, huge windows in the living room with a view of the financial district, open concept kitchen with island and dishwasher. It also had a really funky bathroom with a weird sink. And the bedroom was spacious enough. The windows just kind of faced a wall, so it wasn't super impressive or anything, but it was large, especially for Manhattan, and just kind of had a great feel about it. It was definitely a little funky. It also had an unfurnished rooftop. So you had roof access, you could go on the roof, but it wasn't, fancy with landscaping and everything like that. The drawback of this unit was that it was a 4th floor walk-up with no elevator, which wasn't a huge deal to us. We don't mind the stairs, we're young and in shape enough. But it didn't have laundry in the building, and there did not appear to be a laundromat anywhere nearby. So we decided to keep looking. All right, so that is all for this video. In next week's video, we will be touring all apartments in either downtown Brooklyn or Brooklyn Heights. We did decide we wanted to stay in our area for sure, so that's what we were looking at. In that video, you will also get to see the one that we ended up choosing and hear a cautionary tale and a very sad story about another one. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and comment down below and let me know what you thought of all of these apartments. If you're looking for some more similar content to watch, my last apartment hunting video is linked in the description, as well as the apartment tour of this apartment that I'm in right now and have lived in for the past 2 years. Subscribe to my channel and turn on the little bell guy to be notified next week as soon as the next one of these goes up. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.